Hey, what's good, fam? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. New feature on Bama Insider, Player Spotlight, as we turn the page to 2021. But before we do, remember, hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. We appreciate you more than you know. Today's Player Spotlight is on Keilan Robinson. Keilan Robinson, the 5'9", 190-pound, listed as a junior, but he still has 3 years of eligibility. We'll talk about that in just a second. Out of Washington, D.C., Rivals.com 4-star, and was recruited by Mike Locksley, who's now the head football coach at Maryland. In 2019, he played in 8 games. He totaled 254 yards off 39 carries and 2 touchdowns. He reeled off a 74-yard touchdown run against New Mexico State. Around that time, Nick Saban said that Keilan Robinson has the juice. Clearly a running back that has another gear and can make you miss, and that's why everybody's really excited to see what he can do in 2021. Keilan Robinson also had 8 carries for 92 yards and 1 touchdown, which led the entire team against Western Carolina. That was back in 2019. So we saw a good amount of Robinson, or at least the normal amount that you would see from some of these freshmen during their initial season at Alabama. And one thing that really sets Robinson apart, again, is that speed. So going into the 2020 season, everybody was excited about the Alabama running back room, as they are every single season, right? You got Najee Harris returning, Brian Robinson, Keilan Robinson. Alabama also added those 3 freshman running backs, right? Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, Kyle Edwards. However, no footage of Keilan Robinson during fall training camp. He wasn't ever listed in the transfer portal, and there was no signs that he was injured. So you kind of put the pieces together. It looks like Keilan Robinson opted out of 2020. Now, this is a privacy issue. Players don't have to announce if they're opting out. But if you kind of put things together, that's what it looks like. Fast forward to 2021. Keilan Robinson goes to social media, has a wink and a roll tide. And I think that basically, reading between the lines once again, I think that says he's ready to go in 2021, which is great for Alabama Crimson Tide football fans. Now, the following photos were provided by Taylor McLaughlin, show Robinson, who's clearly been in the weight room during 2020. Now, look, so there was some rumors floating around that he's up to 220 pounds. We haven't been able to confirm that. He's still listed on RollTide.com as 190 pounds. Clearly, if you look at the photos, it's not like he was ever small. He's a different style of back compared to a Najee Harris or Brian Robinson, meaning he's not 230 pounds. But, I mean, he's never been undersized. I mean, at times I think he looked smaller than the other running backs. But like I said, we haven't been able to verify if, he's at 220 pounds. I mean, if you can get to 210, 215 pounds, then you can consider him an all-purpose type back. And I think Alabama needs an all-purpose type back going into the season. Sure, they got Brian Robinson, and he's probably going to be the bell cow of this offense. However, I think if Keilan Robinson can show during spring football camp, during fall training camp, going into week 1, that he can carry the football and maintain the pounding that it takes to be a running back in Division I at this level, you could probably wager to guess that Keilan Robinson, just because he has that breakaway speed, he has some good shake, that he could push Brian Robinson for that starting position. Now, look, there doesn't necessarily need to be a starter per se. We've heard Nick Saban talk about that several times. I mean, at Alabama, you really could have 15, 16 starters on the offensive side. That just means that they have so much depth. So I wouldn't get so hung up on who's going to be the first-team running back, second-team running back. What I would rather focus on is the fact that Keilan Robinson is another quality back to this rotation and that he's going to get fed the ball plenty going into the season. As you look at the Alabama running back room, it's filled with stars, right? Now, Brian Robinson, who's returning for his extra senior season, it's not going to count against the 85-man roster. You also have Keilan Robinson, who we're talking about right now. You have Trey Sanders, who will be listed on paper as a redshirt sophomore. However, he's a redshirt freshman because of this whole COVID pandemic. And then you have Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, Kyle Edwards, and the new 5-star addition, Kamar Wheaton. So it's like stars on stars at the running back position. Plenty of guys that are going to get an opportunity as we continue to push into the 2021 season. The scouting report on Keilan Robinson, as we close out the video, I think you got to focus on these factors. I think he's uniquely explosive in the open field. I think his top-end acceleration is elite. I think he sees holes that are open, and he makes lightning quick cuts to exploit them. That's kind of that juice that Nick Saban was referring to, and I think he's a constant threat for big yardage when he does have opportunities. I know we didn't get to see him in 2020, but I really have a good feeling, and I'm hearing some good things about Keilan Robinson going into 2021. I know the running back room is stacked. There's plenty of guys that are going to get opportunities. There's some younger running backs that are going to push these vets for playing time. I think that's a good thing. We've talked about competition all the time. Competition makes everybody better, but speaking specifically about Keilan Robinson, I think Alabama Crimson Tide football fans should be delighted that he's returning. I think he's going to add that home run type hitter to the roster. And there's a bunch of heavy hitters on this team, but there's going to need to be some guys at running back that step up now that Najee Harris is left, and I think there's plenty of guys that can do that. Specifically, I think Keilan Robinson should have a monster year in 2021. No one is talking about this young man right now, but just wait till we get to middle of the football season. I think plenty of people will know Keilan Robinson, another running back from the Alabama Crimson Tide, about to make big waves. Hey, thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. We appreciate you more than you know. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. We'll catch you soon back on the website.